Hey, and welcome to today's video, not a class. Today, a Q&A as I answer some of the most common questions that you guys sent through. Really looking forward to this one. I'm going to keep things very raw and honest. Starting with the first question. How did you get into yoga, and what do you see as its biggest benefits? Greetings from the Czech Republic. Greetings back at you from the UK, from me and Loxi. I came to yoga after what was a challenging time in my life. I'd recently experienced a breakup, and with that I had to move from the area I was living previously, which meant that I was in new surroundings, didn't have as much of a social life, and I'd also experienced a bad car crash. So I clicked on a video on YouTube that was in fact a yoga for men class. Initially thinking that this would help me rehabilitate from a car crash. And for some reason, I kept showing up more and more and more. It wasn't that there was a great revelation to begin with, honestly, but deep down, I knew that I was doing something good, something that would benefit me and benefit those around me. So even though it wasn't a real exciting pull to start, I kept showing up, and I started to notice the benefits more and more. The movement practice started to impact me mentally too. During challenging poses, for example, I found that I was able to stay in the discomfort without breaking down or getting stressed. And what that taught me was that I could cope, both mentally and physically, during times of challenge. And I think because the wounds of what had previously happened were so fresh and raw, this felt very meaningful. And slowly but surely, that became a way of life. I started to really deepen my practice more and more, and found that I was able to do some of the poses that I found very challenging to begin with, whilst being able to breathe long and slow, controlled breaths. This gave me the stability and the confidence from within to know that I could keep moving forward. In the early stages, I'd say this was its biggest benefit. Understanding that during times of challenge, there's a space within that you can return to. It's not something that is external, that you need to prove yourself to be able to achieve or hold or grasp onto. In fact, it comes from letting go. And that space is within. Whenever you need it most, it's there, perhaps just a few breaths away. Next question. What inspired you to start teaching yoga, and what was your first push to start? Well, I included a little about what was the first source of inspiration to start that initial push was purely to rehabilitate after what was a very bad car crash. This whole experience of rebuilding, really feeling the benefits of yoga in a very true and meaningful way that helped me so much. This inspired me to become a teacher. As I'd experienced this time of challenge, it also prompted me to reflect a little on how I'd been spending my energy over the course of the last 10 or 15 years or so. And it raised some questions, made me look inward, and I realised I wanted to make a few changes for this next chapter of my life. I wanted to do something that felt very aligned with me, that felt right, at the same time that would help others who perhaps had experienced a similar challenge to the one I'd faced. It became not about financial success or climbing a career ladder. And became much more about what I could do for others. And I thought, if by going on this journey of becoming a teacher, if I could help just one person, then that really would mean so much to me. And so I saved up some money from my previous job and embarked on this journey and really embraced it. And of course now I'm very happy that I decided to take that journey. Next question. Where did you train to be a yoga teacher? I trained with Destination Yoga, which is led by Josh Kramer. We did the training in Tuscany. It's a very beautiful location, and it's really an interesting story how that unfolded. I was scrolling through Instagram and I came across a post that I didn't really take much care towards at the time. I just thought, okay, this guy looks like he's pretty solid and stable. That's a good source of inspiration. I'll save that. And I followed him and followed his Destination Yoga page. And I put it to one side, carried on with my life. At this time, honestly, I still wasn't sure whether it was the right thing to do to take that leap to become a yoga teacher. And so I kept it to the back of my mind until a few months had passed, and I kept feeling this urge that there was something pushing me to send another message. So honestly, around 10 days before the training actually started, I sent Josh a message and I said, hey, I know this is a long shot and there probably won't be any spaces left, but if there are, could I join? And he said, yes, there's one space left in a shared room. Would you like it? And I said yes. And the rest is history. Since then, I've been very, very fortunate to have spent more time under Josh's guidance, which is clearly something that I'm very grateful for, and I'm glad I sent that extra message that day. How many years have you been doing yoga? Good question. I went to a few yoga and Pilates classes when I was around 17 or 18. I didn't take it seriously. At the time, actually, I was doing lots of sports. Ironically, I wanted to become a motorcycle racer when I was younger. I say ironically because you probably associate motorbikes with something very fast and high adrenaline and quick, whereas yoga is perhaps that little more peaceful and steady. That was a different chapter of my life. And I was doing a little yoga and Pilates at the time to become, more supple, more flexible, purely for the movement practice again. On and off them throughout my 20s, perhaps dipped into a few classes here and there. But it was probably around 6 years ago that I started to take it a little more seriously. And over time, it became a real way of life, not just for the movement practice, but as a real philosophy for life. But to shorten the answer, around 6 years of very deep, consistent practice. Advice or things you wish you knew starting out as a yoga teacher. My advice for anyone starting as a yoga teacher would be to treat the whole process like you do your practice. For example, the first time you try crow pose, perhaps it doesn't feel very easy. Perhaps it feels like you'll never achieve that. You'll never have the strength. And it's going to take a long time. Perhaps you think people are looking at you around the room and judging you. Perhaps you feel that need for everything to be perfect, for the pose to feel perfectly aligned straight away. But as you know, it's not like that. And the beautiful thing about yoga is that it teaches you the real, let's say, reward is in the journey itself. And over time, you build the strength and surprise yourself. With this in mind, I think it's important to give yourself a little bit of space, a little bit of freedom to make a couple of mistakes here and there, to be creative, to try implementing different cues, different ideas that you'd like to introduce into the class, and accept that sometimes it won't quite come out the way you expected it to. The class won't feel perfect right away. If there's one thing I've understood throughout my journey as a teacher is that people are all at different stages of their yoga journey, and they'll relate to you no matter where you're at on your teaching journey too. So don't feel the pressure for everything to be perfect at the start. Just be there, keep showing up, be present, and give it everything you've got. What are the things that make your heart happy? And if you could teach yoga anywhere in the world, what would be a dream session? Greetings from a follower in Germany. What a beautiful question. What are the things that makes my heart happy? Well, one of those things is right here. Loxi really does make my heart very happy. Times with her in nature are some of my favourite times, for sure. Interestingly, as I've deepened my yoga practice, I find that I have much fewer desires. It's the simple things that mean so much to me that make my heart happy. Times with people you love, helping people, seeing other people happy and fulfilled and succeed. I just hosted a yoga retreat, and being able to see people truly be themselves, no ego, no expectation, no judgment, simply being, really made my heart very happy. And Loxi. And if I could teach yoga anywhere in the world, where would be my dream session? Nature played a big part in my role of rebuilding. I remember I'd come from a very chaotic city lifestyle, and I remember I was walking through these woodlands, and I thought, here's me with all of my problems going on in my head. And there is nature that is thriving, that is perfectly imperfect, that regardless of whatever happens, regardless of my troubles, here's this thing that really flourishes. And it allowed me to put my issues at the time in balance of what really mattered. I spent more time in nature for that reason. And so I think I would love to teach yoga in a space that really embodied that. Perhaps in a beautiful woodland, nice open clearing where we could set up, golden hour, simply the sounds of nature, with Loxi there, where students were able to bring their animals. I think that would be really, really lovely. And I'd also love to do that around here in the UK too. There are so many amazing spots in the UK, and it has a real earthy, grounding feel. I'd love to bring people there to a place that helped me rebuild so much and share that with others, for sure. How did you meet Loxi? You two look like the best of friends. Well, that seems like a great place to wrap up for the final question. How did I meet Loxi? And yes, we are the best of friends. At least she's my best friend. I seem to be her best friend when it's time for food, if it's time for walkies. You see, now she's looking. She's not asleep anymore. Yeah, there's other times I'm her best friend. So, for some context, I had this feeling that, because I was, as you know, at a time where I was reflecting on where I'd been spending my energy in my life up to now, I realized that even though deep down this wasn't the purpose of where my intentions were, I realized that I'd been quite selfish. Everything was about where my next career step was going to be. It was all about, what time was best for me to wake up and go to bed, and when I wanted to go out and do things. And I had this feeling deep down that if I had something to care for that wasn't for my own selfish benefit, let's say, that would teach me a lot. And the owner of the animals told me that there were this big group that had just been born, and he showed me all of the puppies. They were all so beautiful and cute, all the brothers and sisters there jumping around, coming up, looking for attention, coming to me. Wow, very, very cute, very beautiful. And he told me that there had been one puppy that had been kicked out of the group, the runt of the litter. And it was much smaller than the rest. And in fact, it had struggled to survive early on because it couldn't feed from its mother. And it had been kicked out of the group of brothers and sisters too. And he said, and here is this dog. And from the area where there were all these brothers and sisters, he took me next door to a place where I saw Loxi. And she was all on her own. She was smaller than the rest. And I'll never forget her eyes. They're just like how oftentimes she is now. Very hopeful and sweet and loving. The whole experience was emotionally very deep. It hit me somewhere. I remember thinking, maybe there's a real connection here, because this dog has been kicked away from the group. I knew what that felt like at the time because I was living somewhere else. I felt lonely. It had fought hard to survive. I could relate to that too. I'd just experienced the car crash and was going through the whole transition period in my life. All of these things started to mix together. And the next day, I thought, if I'm going to go on this journey, this is the dog that I want to go on that journey with. And so I picked Loxi up, and the rest is history. She's been there throughout my whole teaching journey. So as I was first beginning to imagine what it would be like to be a teacher, she was a tiny puppy. And so it feels very special that now she's able to join me in the videos. This really is a journey that I feel like we're on together. So that's why also I'm very grateful for a lot of the comments that we receive when you acknowledge Loxi as part of this too. That's very special and means a lot to both of us, even though you wouldn't know it by Loxi's face right now, but trust me, it is. Thanks again, and I hope to see you very soon in the next video.